Hey, Get Fox here. Today we got MUT Men episode number 91, and I'm joined as always by the Texas boy. How are you, good sir?
Doing good, Fox, man. Doing good. How you doing, man?
Not so bad, not so bad. Well, let's hear any special tech story this week.
Special tech story this week. Not anything in particular, man. It was kind of a boring week, man. I saw Star Wars, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, please don't spoil it.
Well, like, what if I tell you that, like, everybody dies, like in Rogue One? Spoiler alert.
God damn it. Now I gotta ban you. Banning people from Twitch chat, banning people. So it's just going to be me and xRyan915 this week. So, Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. So I'll get into the agenda, then we're going to go forward with like Ryan's history. We'll talk about his channel and stuff on YouTube. But right off the bat, this is what we'll talk about this week. We're getting into the Christmas promo, of course, the out-of-position players, the gifts, stocking stuffers, limited time cards, what we're looking forward to the next, for the rest of the promo through January, the EA's pre-recorded tournament, Weekend League, Motivators, Run Pass Glitch, and then some squad stuff near the end. And so let's get right into xRyan915. He's on YouTube. I'll have everything in the description. You can go check him out there. Him and I both do Market Mondays, so you guys can go. You guys can go check his out, check mine out, and then get all the knowledge of the market. So Ryan, how bitter are you at me for Market Mondays?
Pretty bitter, I would say. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
I mean, it's one of those things where you said like you didn't know that I did it. It's a common thing, like. You're doing like a namesake thing, like Market. What are you going to say? Market Monday, obviously, or Team Play Tuesday. So it's just one of those things where you probably came up by yourself. And
I never try to purposely rip somebody off on YouTube. And if I do, I send them a message. And so sorry for ripping you off for those Market Mondays, because you did that way back. How long you been on YouTube for Madden?
For Madden, probably, I think it was near the end of Madden 12. And it's only because my buddy Josh, I don't know if you guys that are listening, maybe you know who I am and you know my friend's history on YouTube or whatnot, but he was actually into getting trophies on, PlayStation, kind of like achievements. And one of the things we had to do on Madden 12 was get a high-rated Madden team, like an Ultimate Team. And I'm like, I don't want to play Ultimate Team. So that's in and around the time that I started to do it. And then I started uploading videos of it, and people actually liked it. So that's how that ended up happening.
Nice. And then how long into that did you hook up with Tex? Did you guys become buddies or whatever?
I started it.
Not buddies at all right now. You guys secretly hate each other.
I talk to Tex all the
Second
time. I'm always talking to Tex. But I think I started to talk to Tex, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was in and around the time Wiza was doing that website.
Yeah, that was
Ultimate
pretty
Team
much
Zone.
the first interactions I've had.
That's the first time
It was Wiza,
Yeah.
London RTR, Philly Ron, and then obviously Ryan. So yeah, that was like the first time I talked to these guys. I knew about them, watched their videos and stuff, but I didn't actually like interact with them.
And I wish we knew more how to do, websites and stuff back then, because that probably could have worked out a little bit better than
Definitely
it did. But
think about it, like
yeah,
we had that website, then it didn't work out. Then what popped up next on Twitch? Remember that? No, on Twitch. What was the MUT Crew?
Oh yeah, the MUT Crew, obviously.
Which is basically kind of the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wait, but you guys were a website. What's that about? Explain the website.
It's pretty much just like a place for, Madden Ultimate Team users, fans of Wise and myself, London, Tex. They can come in, use the forums. It was like a way to interact with if they wanted to play games or want to do coin games, maybe a little bit of things we shouldn't have done back then, like coin games and, things against terms of service, obviously. But, it was just things like that. You could purchase like a package or whatever, and you had access to, premium type things. We would do giveaways for the premium members, just whatnot. And it was just kind of like a website other than using like a MUT type website where we eventually our idea was to have all the prices of all the cards, all the sets. Tex was writing articles for the entire website, helping people out in ways that, MUT probably wasn't doing at the time, but they started to do it a little bit more, and it was just it didn't really pan out the way we wanted it to. None of us had experience running a website at all, so it just really didn't work out at all.
So we had RBT on the podcast a little bit ago, and you're talking about these premium benefits. Was one of them like a flex show? Would one of you give a flex show to a fan if they paid for the premium?
I mean, maybe.
So how much they gonna write that check for?
$10,000. I think IBT was offered.
Yeah,
Everything has a price.
Yeah. As long as you gotta show your face, man. I mean, you see these cam girls. You see these cam girls without they're on these sites on the side of your pop-ups, like with no face. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly. It works. So that's interesting. So it's kind of like how people you talked about coins stuff being against terms of service. It wasn't back then. It is now, but it wasn't like prior to like Madden 17 or 18. I don't think coin games were against it. Weren't they fine with wagers?
It's not the fact that it was like just wagers. It was like different things. Like obviously there were services on there where you can not only play wagers and whatnot. While that might not be against terms of service back then, there was also in that package where you could get safe coin deals. So it kind of tied in together. So yeah, that was definitely frowned upon and still is today, obviously.
I'm really surprised a website with like that you guys made money off of coins that didn't survive, because that seems like a cash cow essentially.
Like I said, none of us had experience with websites, so it was really hard to maintain.
And I think if they would have ran it just based off like coin transactions, it'd have been a little bit better. I think because the reason why it didn't succeed was community backlash, because they were all upset about like, oh, I have to get a membership to get stuff. Meanwhile, people were doing those things on Twitch where they were saying sub to me and you can get Madden stuff. I remember some people just like they're with EA, they're doing sub only streams where they could give away stuff to subs. And so, but like because you did it in a website form, people took objection to it. But if you did it in a Twitch form, it was a little bit different. It's kind of I didn't understand that hypocrisy of it, but that's kind of how it went.
Yeah, it's a little bit before my time, so it's interesting to hear about. So then you're saying that the MUT crew did Twitch giveaway, stuff like that?
I don't think it was MUT crew. I know other guys did. I know like even like Cougar Rob was doing stuff like that, I believe. I'm pretty sure it might have been somebody else, but I know people were doing those things where if you sub, you get double entries and stuff like that, and people didn't care. You know, you can now allow to actually pay to somebody, because it's kind of like coin transaction in a way, where if you're paying a sponsor or a sub to somebody to give you a card in exchange, how's it not like buying coins or buying cards?
Yeah, that was a big controversy. I think I got into that. Well, Sly kind of started it, and then I kind of jumped on it as like that's basically just running a lottery and doing coin stuff like that. And some people obviously found that different. The ones that liked it found a different way of justifying that. So I could see that. I could see it. So interesting. So that went under, and then you guys kind of just stayed on YouTube. And Ryan, so you've been doing YouTube for since Madden 12, so like 6 years. Is that it?
I mean, I've been off and on like doing like I had a separate channel that ended up I had a copyright strike for something I uploaded a long time ago back on my old channels like xRyan915 HD. Like I was doing more Call of Duty stuff, like different types of fighting games and stuff. Like I really wasn't taking YouTube like super serious back then until the whole Madden thing happened. And I noticed I'm like, well, I'm starting to get a lot of subs every single day. I'm like, do people actually like to watch this? And that was back in the day where the only Madden YouTubers that did Ultimate Team were like Wiza, and then you had what was the guy's name? B Hackett. I apologize if you hear that ambulance. I live right next to a hospital, but yeah, they had. I think B Hackett was one of the main YouTubers there, and then do you guys remember Jamila the Killer? That may be a little bit.
If you didn't mention him,
yeah,
remember that guy?
Yeah, Jamila the Killer. Yeah. And so, like, kind of like B Hackett left, and he really hated Madden 13, and that was a transition period for me when I was doing the end of MUT 12. Going into MUT 13, and again, it was only Wiza and like Jamila the Killer, and myself and a buddy of mine, London, which a lot of people will know. We said, why not get into this? This is really fun. People seem to enjoy it. We like the game. We love Madden Ultimate Team, and people love to hear tips, and they love to hear about the best cards in the game, and what to do, the best packs to open, strategies, good plays, and that's where we started off doing Madden, for real. And Chase was in there as well, if you guys know who Chase is.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Definitely been a cool ride.
Yeah, it is amazing, like, the evolution, especially, I know we talk about the MUT YouTube game a lot on this podcast, because I'm really fascinated by it, because, it's spent so much time on it. And, like, the old people, and, like, how like, people kind of, like, burn out or just stop uploading because they just kind of get sick of the game or just kind of move on with periods in their life. And like there's some that, like yourself, kind of like the survivor, essentially. Like all these people around you are falling off the channels, like Addy Cards, all these guys that you mentioned are kind of like stop. Wise is very infrequently uploading. I guess he just uploaded some the last couple of days I saw about stuff they can fix. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's interesting to me to see who survives and who doesn't, whether you keep liking Madden and like MUT. So with that, which one is your favorite? I'll ask you two questions. Which one's your favorite MUT, and Texas, you're next. And then which one's your favorite Madden overall, Ryan?
The favorite MUT to me has to be 13, not because I think it was the best, but because it was the first one that I really, really got into. Like I said, started the channel out with MUT 13 pretty much. And everything about that game to me was every time something would come out, it was so fun to, hop in a Skype call, with London, with Chase, with Josh, all my friends, and we would just sit there and do what we're doing right now pretty much. Do like a podcast with, packs being opened, reactions and stuff like that. Madden 13 to me, MUT 13 was just overall the perfect MUT for people that just wanted to have fun. And obviously for people that wanted to figure out, what we were doing. It was fun to upload videos and, getting into it and learning how to do all this stuff with YouTube. Now, my favorite Madden overall, I would probably say, not to sound like cliche or anything or just, basic, but Madden 04, obviously. Just it was the first Madden that felt completely like you were able to see huge differences with how Madden was going to be on PS2, which I played. And then you went into 05 where you had the hit stick, and then 06 you had the truck stick. And even Clickwood will say, I don't know if you ever asked him this, but we love that radio show, that Tony Bruno radio show that they had while doing franchise mode. And it was just it felt like you were actually. It's funny, like I like franchise mode back on PS2 better than I do now.
Oh yeah.
So I don't understand why, but I just really like it a lot more back then. But that's pretty much it. I mean, if I had to say Madden 04, 05, in and around there is probably my favorite Madden in terms of just Madden, not Ultimate Team.
I think that's a pretty. I mean, I'd have about the same answer as you. Texas.
Think about it is I didn't really get into Madden until Madden 12. I stopped playing after they introduced that will sprint for you feature. I was like, I'm done with this game. I don't want the CPU out here running for me. So I stopped playing after they did that. And they brought it back I think the next year, but that was a dumb selling point. We'll teach you how to accelerate. don't hold right trigger. Like, this is stupid. And so I guess my favorite Madden before that might have been, I think, Madden 09. Because I used to stay up all the night with, like, my friend. And then we would just, like, do this franchise mode and just kind of just do those things where you trade all the best players on one team. And just have fun with it, so that's kind of how I go back to it. But I do like this Madden gameplay this year. It is kind of annoying. So I would probably say 18.
There just needs. I mean, we can get into the. Well, I'll write down the meta as something we'll get to in a little bit, and I'll ask Ryan about his thoughts on it later. But I agree. It's so Ryan. It's weird. So I'm scrolling back on your channel. I'm looking at it, and like I'm looking at all the videos you put up. Like it's amazing to see like Grand Theft Auto 5 you uploaded about the same time you were uploading Madden 13/14, aka 25, and then like it seems strange like Madden has evolved so much, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is still like a premier selling game too, whereas like Madden 25 hasn't sold a copy in years. So I don't know I don't know where I'm going with that, but it just seems like it just seems weird. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 seems so like right now like a competitor with Madden 18. And
they just dropped an update too. Like,
yeah, I mean that's like
just some more stuff you can do. I don't know if it's more heist, but they got more stuff coming in Grand Theft Auto 5 right now.
Again, I would hate to keep up bringing Clickwood, but he talks about this to me all the time. Grand Theft Auto, he cannot believe that game only costs $60 for the amount of stuff you get inside of it. The amount of just immersion you can have online with your friends, doing stories, doing heists. Like Texas said, they just came out with a new heist. Rockstar knows how to make a game that will last a long time, and even after the new one comes out, people will still be playing this one.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, a lot of the Grand Theft Auto 5 though, like a lot of that's funded though by microtransactions in their online environment. Correct? I haven't played it, but is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, they have these things known as shark cards where you can go in and get your money in the game and whatnot. But for people that were lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to do the little car glitch that was going on. Like myself, I boot up GTA right now. I don't gotta buy a shark card. I got $1.8 billion on there. So that's the only downside to GTA. Where like nowadays, probably with the next one that comes out, it's probably going to be mainly focused on that word that everyone hates, microtransactions, or maybe a word that people like. I don't know. It's kind of split down the middle, I think, with how people.
I want to hear your thoughts on microtransactions and basically how it's evolved in MUT since your favorite MUT in 13.
Okay, so this is my honest thoughts on it.
Well,
Yeah, well, I don't want to downplay anything. Yeah. Okay, so obviously I'm 28 years old. I've been playing games since the NES, basically the original Nintendo. Back then, you would buy the game, you would have fun with the game, and everything that you wanted on the cartridge back then, it's weird to say that now, was on the game. And you could sit there and you could play with your friends, you could do whatever, and that evolved, all the way to the Super Nintendo, to the Nintendo 64, to the PlayStation 1, to the PlayStation 2. And, games back then, you paid one price for that game, and you had endless amounts of fun with that game. Now, with the introduction of PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, you have microtransactions. Now, to be able to play those games, you have to spend little by little by little by little to get better and better things, compete online. Do I like it? No, not at all. I really honestly do not like that you have to spend money to compete with your friends or compete with people online, but I can understand why people do like it, and it's kind of funny. That's what I do on my YouTube channel, is I do microtransactions to entertain people, to open up packs and whatnot. I think it works for Madden. I just don't like how much it is. Per se, I don't think the prices are exactly where I would put them if I was doing it, but I can understand why.
Where would you put prices?
I mean, it just sucks. Like, you go in, and I'm going to go ahead and do it right now, live. I'm on Madden, I'm going to go ahead and look at the current bundles in the game, and we're going to go just take a look at what we have. So, the featured content right now, we have a Wintry Team of the Week bundle, and it's 5,500 points. So, you're telling me that I have to spend almost the entire cost of the game to open up this bundle, which I'm probably not even going to make. What would you say an average amount of coins you're going to make out of
Team of the Week? Are some of the worst bundles.
Yeah, not good at all.
It just, that's my whole point. It's just like, I don't like it that you have to spend the cost of the game to get most of these bundles, and sometimes twice the cost of the game almost if you get a $100 bundle. It's not fair that they make the prices so high. I think the way they value $1 or $10 even is way too high on the game. I think you should get a lot more for your dollar instead of the little amount that you get. Like, the Fire Fantasy packs, for example, were probably one of the best value packs in the game, probably the best value packs we'll ever see in Madden history, where you got a full legend or, a full Team of the Week for $20. So why can't everything else be like that? That's almost kind of stupid to think. Like, what else can you get for $20, and what's the value you get back for that $20? It's not good. Like, it really is not good. I don't know exactly what I would put the price at, but it's just kind of upsetting to see that you have to spend so much money to get so little back. Yeah. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Texas, you have thoughts? And then I'll get to
mine.
I
was going to say, because so a subscriber sent me some, he's doing me $100 to pull the big bundle. I was like, I really don't want to pull it, but he wanted me to pull it. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll do that. And I was like, and after pulling, like, why would anybody buy packs in this game after they kind of showed you what they value in the Fire Fantasy packs? Like, I spent $120 basically because it's 12,000 points, which is basically equivalent to $120. And I could have got
$100.
Well, no, I'm saying it's 120,000. I mean, 12,000 points is equivalent to $100.
It's $100.
I know, but it's equivalent to 120 though, if you do the math, breaking down.
But you can buy 12,000 points for $100.
Yes, but it's basically equal to 120, if you get what I'm saying, because that's kind of how they do the math. But whatever.
He's saying without the bonus points, that's how much it would cost.
Yeah, so I got you. So I'm like, I could have got 6 of those packs and made a minimum of like 1 million coins. Whereas with the Legends Fantasy packs I pulled this past week, the gift was my best pull, and that so happened to be like the out of position boss. I'm like, that's not good value on these, man. Like, I don't get it. So like buying packs, especially after they did that promo, is just like, you just start realizing that they just make these prices as they go, and they can make these things cheaper, just choose not to.
Yeah. So about making them cheaper, those Fire Fantasy packs, I ended up getting I think 6 of them, and as you guys saw when the Fire Fantasy packs came out, the prices on those Team of the Week elites, they absolutely tanked. So the more people that would have bought those Fire Fantasy packs would have made them not worth it. So they were worth it for the people that could get it, but because it's such a rare item that not everybody got it. So if everybody did, it would have adjusted itself downwards. And I mean, about these microtransactions, I don't know. It's tough because EA puts out this content almost daily for a whole year, and then they people want to play it. EA has created a game that people want to play, and they will pay money to anybody to pay. As we see with the coin sites, they'll pay whatever they're charging just to get coins in order to play this game. So EA's here is like, well, if you're gonna pay them, pay us. It's the same thing World of Warcraft did when people were selling characters. Like, say they grind up a character to level 60, they grind to the max level, and then it changed, whatever. They grind to max level, then they sell that character on eBay, and they make a couple $100. So then Blizzard's like, oh, we can do that. We'll just sell our own characters. So it's a similar thing here with MUT. Like, if MUT was free to play and they didn't have any option to buy packs with real money or real money put in this game, people would still pay money to somebody to get a high team. So EA puts themselves to be that person to pay. And I don't know. It's basically the mode drives the microtransactions drive the mode. As to the price point, that's kind of, I don't know. It's tough because bundles, like we say, some are worth it, some are not. Team of the week are some of the worst. Like, you have to be a smart consumer. And I've gotten some weird comments on, I don't know what weird, but I've gotten some comments on my YouTube section. Like, well, not everybody pays attention to what bundles are worth it and which ones aren't worth it, and EA's screwing them over. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Is it a company's job to have you be a responsible consumer? Maybe. But, like, nobody's going to buy every single bundle. So in one way or another, you're choosing bundles. Unless, you're Golden Sports or some other YouTuber. So in one way or another, you're putting money into this game. And if you put money into something, be smart with your money. Buy the right thing. Wait for Wheels to put out his video. Wait for K or the other YouTuber, the ScoMos. See how they pull. And then pull based on if it's fire, if there's returning value, what you can see in packs. So that's kind of my thoughts. The microtransaction mode's like, it is what it is. I mean, people will pay for this content that EA puts out. So I don't think it's wrong that EA makes that money off their content.
See, I
actually have something to say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I actually have one thing to say about what he just said, where he said, wait for Wheels, wait for ScoMo, wait for, whoever. That is something that people should do. But at the end of the day, what can you even really get out of that by watching them rip those packs if you don't even really know what the full odds are? And I don't want to get into an odds talk, but if you don't know the... I'm just saying, if you don't know what the odds are in those packs, you're just watching someone either get lucky or have, I don't want to swear or anything, but kind of get crapped on. Okay, yeah. I was going to say. Yeah, you're either watching someone getting lucky or watching someone get shit on. So, I mean, it's just up to you. Point. If you,
yeah, because we don't have the odds of packs, and EA isn't going to release them unless required by law. So that's I want to see odds. I think almost everybody in the community wants to see odds in these packs. Texas?
Absolutely.
No.
You don't want to see them?
Because all it's going to make you not want to rip off. All it's going to do is make us mad, bro. Like, that's all it's going to do. We're going to see Deion Sanders. Like, they put 100,000 Deion Sanders out and, 300 were pulled. Like, I want to see the odds on that. I do want to see the odds, but it's just going to make us mad. So I don't want them to release something that's just going to make people angry. If you get what I'm saying.
I've had a thing in my mind now for 4 years in Madden where I feel like EA, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is just my thoughts, what I see with my own two eyes. I've said this to Clickwood too. I keep bringing up Clickwood because me and him always talk about stuff like this all the time. But I feel like EA every single year tries to give you they take away little by little of what you get for your value of your money. And they try to give you the least amount that they can to see if people will pay the same amount of money for little, less things in packs. Like, I feel like they try to give you the least amount for the most amount all the time. So we've seen, the elites come back from 85 to 80. They do that because they want you to feel like you're getting good stuff in packs, when in reality, how many 85 overall elites or higher do you think you've actually pulled out of how many packs you've pulled? How many 80 overall elites do you think you've pulled from? That's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about. Like, I feel like they try to give you the least amount of stuff in packs for the most amount of money. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I just feel like they try to give you such little value back for your money is basically the whole point. And it seems like it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller by each Madden that comes out. To the point where we may not even get guaranteed a gold in a pro pack or a gold player pack. Like, I feel like that's going to end up happening.
Yeah, so I don't know what they'll do down in the future, but for that, the one counter argument I have is I don't really pay too much attention to coin markets, but it pops up from here to there in talking about market stuff on Mondays and stuff. So this year, the counter argument to them giving us less and less are what happened to the black market, like the coin sellers and the prices you can get on Reddit once those baby goat packs came into the game. And because at that point it was over $20 per 100,000 coins, and that's what people were selling in the black market for. And then EA gave us those baby goat packs where they basically it was like what $14 to $15 would convert into 100,000 coins in game, which is great value. That crashed the black market down to that or slightly under that because coin sellers would basically go out, buy baby goat packs, sell it, make it, and then they'd be able to turn a profit until those markets met up with each other. So the value. I don't know if it's less and less per year. I don't have as much history as you guys do. It sure feels that way sometimes, and some of those packs they put out that are absolutely terrible. But overall, for everything that they have put out, I don't completely believe that, because and especially in years past, we've seen that $20 per $100,000 rate stay longer into the game until it gets like into 15 into like October, November-ish. So that's just my thought. Texas, did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with that, like the value that Ryan was talking about, but it's not even really just with the money; it's also with your time. Like they don't really value our time because, like, remember we had Jake Stein on the podcast, and I was like, with the fantasy, you could choose your elite, and you were like, oh, well, like if they're gonna be 81 to 81 and like an 85, like why are you gonna choose a lesser one? And that's kind of how the philosophy was for a while until they updated the odds in Weekend League, where you would spend all those hours and then make basically like maybe 50, 60K. They don't really appreciate our time, it seems like. Solo grinders, I think they're getting really good stuff, but for head-to-head grinders, until lately, they weren't really valuing the time or the money that the people were putting into this game.
Yeah, we could get into Weekend League rewards right now. We have it on the agenda. Let's talk about it. Is there anything more you want to add to the Weekend League? Like, what do you think should change for Weekend League rewards? Weekend
League rewards for people who place should get higher, like either make it less games and keep the rewards the same, or give people better stuff. So I kind of felt bad for Savage and other people who are grinding, where like it's all based off of luck and it's not based off of like really skill. Like I pulled an 80 overall right tackle, winning 11 games, and some of these guys out here playing 25 and they're playing double the games that I'm playing and only getting 200,000 coins worth of stuff. I'm like, how is that really fair? Because I had a better pull than they did. I know ScoMo got top 100 and finally, and then his gold Weekend League pack pulled a 700K pull, while some guys in their 4 getting top 1 don't even get that many coins out of all the pulls they get. So I don't think it should come down to luck. Maybe Savage right. Maybe they should go ahead and just give people more coins so that way they can kind of compensate for that.
I'll throw it to you, Ryan, in a second. Let me just say one thing about Sav. I don't think Sav. I think what he's saying is he wants more guarantee. I don't think that's good for Sav to get more guaranteed stuff. Because Sav, he does videos on Weekend League pack openings. So if you just get a guaranteed 500,000 coins, what's he going to make out of that video? So I think Sav it's great to get more value, but I don't think he wants guarantees, because then the pack openings won't do as well
makes
for him.
Sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, Ryan, what are your thoughts? Should they change Weekend League rewards or any head-to-head rewards?
I mean, for Weekend League, for me, when I always look at Weekend League, I think of like, when I look at the leaderboards, I always keep track of what my friends are doing. Hopefully, they're doing good. ScoMo, I'll sit in a Skype call with ScoMo until 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, so he doesn't fall asleep playing. I really hope he does well. I hope everyone else does well. But I feel like, you just said you don't want like exclusive stuff. But imagine playing like if you get rank 1, 2, or 3. Like every week you have an exclusive like thing that only those 3 spots can get, or maybe even the top spot. Like every single week there's a new Weekend League like limited legend or something like that only those 3 people can get. It'll give you something to play for. Now maybe a lot of people will say like, well, that's not fair to the people that just can't make the cut or they can't get up there, but maybe, people are complaining that, oh, I got rank 1 and I got less rewards than, Vic, who got gold 1 and he pulled the new Thursday, legend out of the gold pack. Why not? What's so wrong with giving those like top guys an exclusive like reward and have something that people can actually say, wow, I'm not playing Weekend League. I should really get on there and compete for that, because that is awesome. Like a limited 93 overall, I don't know. I'll just say Steve McNair because I'm a Titans fan. Why not? Like, I don't think that would really work out too well, but that's just something I have in my head. Like, why not do something like that? Or, whatever. Yeah. More coins, whatever. I don't know. Something to play for.
Yeah, this is the first week that we actually got one of those players, like top one, or not top one, number one, got the Bo Jackson.
Yep.
So that's the first week. That, so if you actually grinded the ladder, you could actually get like crazy amounts.
Is that what that was? Was that a full Bo Jackson?
I think it was a Bo Jackson fantasy pack where you get to choose. Like it can give you choices of random Bo Jackson to pick.
Yeah, I know I saw that, and I was just wondering, like, is that really a full Bo Jackson or whatever you pick? But I mean, if that's what they're gonna maybe start doing, that would be kind of cool. That's kind of what I was saying there.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Hey, so do you guys think, kind of off of that Weekend League rewards topic onto more other Weekend League, did Weekend League make MUT itself too competitive now? Like, is it kind of like, and this kind of ties in, we'll get back to the Christmas stuff. Is it less fun now and more about just winning in MUT, whereas like in the past MUTs it'd be more about fun? What's your guys' opinion on that, Ryan?
For me, when I heard about Weekend League, it just made me kind of feel bad. And when I say that, it's because, like, when I would play MUT, I would do it, for videos, like maybe reviewing a card or whatnot. And now every time Weekend League rolls around, like, I haven't had my team in a while, my offense at least, because it was stuck on my friend's account, which unfortunately he got suspended for like 15 days for whatever. And I had been playing Weekend League, but I couldn't because I didn't have my offense. But I felt bad when Weekend League came out because I'm like, oh, now I actually have to try, and there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be out there that are going to try their ass off to beat me. And, already, like, most of the time I'll play somebody, and if they beat me, they're like, hey, watch your videos, you suck. It's just like, damn. Like, that. Now I have to actually sit there and try. And that's what sucks about Weekend League, but it's also really cool because it does make you want to try. It does make you want to get better at the game. I mean, that's just my thoughts, I guess.
All right. Texas, any thoughts on that?
It is kind of a little bit, like, grindy and super, like, frustrating at times because all it is now, that was a bad read. Sorry, I'm watching the Madden tournament. This dude threw the ball right to somebody that wasn't open. But it is a little bit frustrating because I don't mind, like, how the meta is right now, but it's not even really competitive anymore. It's just you're playing the same thing, and I guess you can call that competitive. But like, I don't mind games where me and my opponent are going back and forth like chess, where I'm doing this, he's countering me with that, and I got to go back and think how to beat that. Right now, all you're seeing is cover, throw, show, drop 2, and just pitch and toss, and wham. I'm like, that's not really competitive. It's just frustrating to stop.
Yeah, I don't know if cover 4 is as meta anymore as it used to be. I'm seeing a lot more.
Cover 3, 4, 6 piece package. Seeing a lot
more
of that.
Well, it's more the offense that's stale than the defense, in my opinion. The offense is kind of stuck with that pitch, stretch, wham, tight end angle thing right now, and I think like defense this year, if we want to get into the meta, it's very varied. I'm seeing everything from like 3-4 to 4-3 wide 9 to 46 to dollar defenses. We see the nickel 3-3-5 odd, nickel 3-3-5. We see a whole bunch of different defenses, and then because defense just generally plays well this year, no matter what you run against it. Whereas like on offense, you kind of just run toss and wham, and even if you get stopped twice, the third or fourth time you're going to hit a big run. It's kind of like it's exactly what Rex said on the podcast, where he said. Basically, that the game with aggressive catches came down to you threw it up 4 times, and 1 out of 4 times it'd work, and that'd be your offense, and that's boring. It's the same thing right now with pitch. You run it 4 times, 1 time it works, and then you hit a home run. So it's or they'll gain 4 yards, and they'll be able to convert a first down before they hit that big home run shot. So it's very stale on offense, in my opinion. Ryan, what's your thoughts on the meta right now in Madden?
Like you said, I mean, you get online right now, and what are you going to run into? Someone running pitch, someone running, halfback wham, someone running tight end angle, and now you have custom audibles that you can put in there.
Yeah.
So they can audible from the stretch to, you could audible to the tight end angle, you could audible to the wham, and it's nonstop over and over and over and over again. And even if you think you have a defense for it, like you said, 1 out of 4 times, it's going to get you. You're going to rage, and it just sucks. Like, I don't know. I mean, and then on defense, like, You got the guys that come out there and cover 4 drop show 2. You got guys coming out there in 3-3-5. You got to worry about, okay, where's that guy going to come off the edge? Where I'm not going to run there. Even if you run to the opposite side, that guy in the cloud flat's going to hit you. It's most likely going to be Dick Lane, and you're going to rage. Conservative doesn't work anymore, and it's just like that's kind of how I am about it. Like online right now it's fun because, like Tech said, it's almost like a chess match, but it's so frustrating. It's more frustrating than I've ever felt in Madden.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'm okay at Madden. I'm not going to say I'm great. Mm-hmm. I can beat like 85% of the people that I'll play. Obviously, if I get matched up against a competitive player, I'm probably going to lose. But for the most part, 85% of the people that I play, I'll do well. I'll win. But I'm not going to lie when I say I'll struggle maybe 1 out of every 3 games, like really hard. Like the meta right now is not exactly how I envision the game going from where it started, I guess. I don't know. It just kind of seems different.
I think a part of that frustration comes down to like the helplessness of it, because like I know what my opponent is going to do.
Exactly, and you can't stop it sometimes.
It's like I know he's going to run this corner route, and I can put the guy in a purple, cloud flat, tell him to play sidelines. He doesn't do it. I played a guy this last weekend league, and literally all he ran was whim. I know where he's going with the ball. And because he had Bo Jackson, and you can't tackle somebody when they truck you, you just got to let the guy truck you and then go for 6. It's like, okay, so that's annoying. Guys running out routes. I'm playing sidelines. I'm playing the outside. You know what keeps happening? He keeps running it and he keeps getting first downs. I'm like, I know it's coming. I'm pressing. Why is my cornerback not playing the sticks? He should just be sitting there, but he's not doing it. So I think that's where it comes down to on defense occasionally, and offense as well, as like just the helplessness of it, where you know what's going to happen and you can't do anything about it.
The only thing I'm not helpless against right now, and I made it my mission to be able to stop at any point an out route, because I cannot stand it. And I sat there and I studied it and I did it. I figured out the perfect way to stop an out route. No one can throw an out route. It will get picked off for a touchdown every single time. Not going to happen. But then, again, if I do that, I get whammed.
Yeah. So. Are you gonna let us know? How does this happen? What'd you do?
I mean, should I?
Wait. You're not gonna. Okay, you want to keep it as a Ryan exclusive?
I don't want to like sit there and say like it's not something that's already known, but I mean, obviously you could look it up or do whatever. I don't want to really get into too many details. Like I get a lot of tips from my friend who's actually going to be in Orlando for a tournament, so I kind of don't want to give away his stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay. So well, wouldn't it just be like a cover 2 on Cloud Flats?
I mean, yeah, but there's obviously other methods that I would do. I'll just say that I don't have to use cloud flats to stop it.
I gotcha. Interesting. Well, maybe you should put out after the Orlando tournament. You should definitely do a tip video with your buddy talking about how to stop.
I've tried to get him to give me exclusive rights to talk about it, give him full credit on it, or have him on the channel talking about it. But we'll see what he does. He kind of only really likes to let his buddies know. And not have it be like out there, because apparently he has some really good stuff he's going to be dropping down there, and hopefully I'm pulling for him. His name is well, I don't even know if I should really say it, but his name is Gimme the Fluke. So gotcha. That's who you should be rooting for down there.
Well, can you tell me the formation and let me guess it? And you don't have to say either way. I just want to guess at it. Just give me the formation.
I'll just say it's 3-4.
3-4 odd. All right, what you're going to do in a cover 4, you're going to convert your deep quarters into cloud flats. You're going to put your 2 safeties onto deep halves. Is that it? I
mean, not necessarily, but it's kind of on the same track,
I would say. All right. Yeah, there's a few variations. But that's a defense I saw, and it's frustrating because you see a cover 4, but it's really a cover 2, and they've got the sidelines locked, and then they get the deep middle and stuff. So
you're on the right track with showing something that isn't really there.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on.
Magician.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of the way you need to be better at Madden, is to show something and do something completely different. Obviously, people know that, but
yeah, the magician, like Tech said. All right, let's get back to the Christmas promo. I kind of want to hear you guys' thoughts on the gifts, and let's go through the gifts first. What do you guys think about them being so dang rare? Texas, you first.
I don't know what they're thinking. I understand why the premium gifts were rare, but I pulled 2 million coins in icy packs. And I pulled 1 gift. Think about it. So I paid $100 for a gift topper. I pulled one out of a frigid pack, which was I bought what 5 of those, and then it took me $2 million to pull a 5 Pro Pack bundle or 5 gold, whatever the hell those packs are. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing in the world because this is what we want, and all I can help but think about, I guess, being so rare is because like these dudes at EA can't stop talking to their friends about what comes inside the gifts. They gotta make them rare so they can't stack up on one gift. Because like there's no need for the best part of what this promo could have been, which is the whole guessing what's in the gifts and getting a bunch of them so that way you can kind of like stack up because and didn't have a lot of like packs and items. Like why were they ridiculous rare for even the frigid pack, which cost 5,000 coins, or for the gold packs or whatever else we're getting? I'm cool with the Ray Lewis, not the Ray Lewis, sorry, with the Ed Reed and I guess the boss pack being as rare as it is. And if you pull one of those, you're lucky. But the other one shouldn't have been like 1 out of like 2 million coins.
100% agree. Ryan?
Completely unacceptable, and I don't like it. Because I hate how the gifts are right now. Like Tex said, part of the fun with the gifts is, oh, that one looks really awesome. And you don't really know for sure. But you stack up on it. You have a bunch of them. You really, really hope and pray that it's good. Now, like Tex said, I put 2 million coins, all the coins that I had on my account, into icy packs. Now, yeah, I was getting a couple of out of position, elites, and I was selling them for 30K, and I was actually making coins doing that for a little bit, but it started to drain a little bit down. I wasn't getting any gifts. I think it was 3 gifts out of 2 million coins. One of them was a frigid pack. One of them was that little Team of the Week bundle that came out today. And one of them, I don't know what it is, but it has like a Thursday night on it on the top. I'm imagining it's going to be like a Color Rush jersey. And I sat there and I posted on Twitter. I'm like, I spent 2 million coins on these. I maybe made 1 million coins back in value. So that means I spent 1 million coins for a Team of the Week, like 3-pack bundle, a Color Rush jersey, which I could get for 50K if I wanted it, and a frigid pack. Like a 3 frigid pack, whatever it was. And it's kind of stupid. Like, that's unacceptable. I miss getting the stocking with the Rams logo on it and saying, oh my god, it's Deacon Jones. I miss getting a Raiders present, like, oh my god, that's Bo Jackson. Turns out it's not Bo Jackson. Someone messages me that has inside info, says, I'll take that present from you. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that Bo Jackson? No, it's not Bo Jackson. Turns out it is Bo Jackson. And like, that to me was kind of, I didn't want to, like, throw anyone under the bus.
Hot Shugs!
Did he get it from you?
I'll just say this. I like Shugs, but the whole Bo Jackson thing, when we all figured out that, like, him and like a couple of other guys knew which one Bo Jackson was. He was on Xbox at the time. I was on PS4. He also tried to get the first time he tried to get the Giants gift that I had, which ended up being. Do you remember that? It was DRC.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I remember
he
that.
said,
Yep.
Yeah, I posted it on Twitter, and I'm like, anyone know what this is? And I was kind of excited because I hadn't seen it yet. I had the gift, and it looked really rare. He messaged me on DM, and he said, I'll give you 150K for it. I'm like, well, I mean, that sounds like a really good offer. It's probably not going to be anything all that great. I don't think it's going to be 150K worth. I'm like, but aren't you on Xbox? He's like, yes, you're right. You're on PS4, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, don't let anybody know that I told you this, but it's going to be Flashback DRC. And I'm like, so you're offering me 150K. You're offering me 150K knowing what it is to screw me when you know it's DRC. And then you tell me? Like, I understand why he did it. I understand, like, you want to get the gift, you want to have it, you want to have DRC. But that was kind of messed up. Yeah. I felt I was hurt.
You betray you like that, huh?
But I love gifts like that. I like that. I like how you could get them, and you could buy them off the auction block if you wanted to. Now you can't even do it.
Yeah, you like seeing the worst side of humanity, huh?
Yeah, you can't even trade them anymore. You can't, like, there's no gift exchange. Part of, like, Christmas is like, oh, I have this gift. You ever hear of, like, in real life, you ever heard of gift exchange? Where you do, like, a little game with it? Like, you exchange a gift with someone, you get their gift, they get yours. Like, you don't know what's going to be in it. Why are they untradeable? Why? Why are they so rare? That's just my opinion. I am very passionate about gifts. It's one of my favorite times of the year is the Christmas promo or the Zero Chill promo. EA has Zero Chill right now with how they're doing the gifts, period. I don't like it.
Yeah, at least they self-named it, you know, I think you, along with, I would say 98% of the community feel the same way. Actually, let me go to Tex before I say that. Tex, what are your feelings on NAT gifts?
NAT gifts are the absolute worst.
There it
is.
Like the reason why they're doing it,
worried.
obviously, the reason why they're doing it. So for some reason that like they don't, because this goes back to Madden 16, maybe 17. I'm not too sure which promo it was last. I think it might have been 16. I think we got Nat gifts last year as well. In 16, that's when the gifts leaked again because loose lips sink ships, as they say. So they tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends, and everybody knows what's in these gifts, and then then people get into database and stuff like that happens. And so I believe Vic and a bunch of other guys bought like Pro Pack bundles that were going for like $50K, like if you want to buy them in the store for like 25,000 coins. And so I don't think EA they didn't really like that aspect of it because people were getting better value for the packs in the game for just buying gifts off the auction block and knowing what was in there.
Shout out to Boogie for that.
Yeah, and so it ended up like
I had 1,000 of them.
They had to go back and change it because that's the reason why. Like people sold gifts because they thought they were trash and they didn't care. Like people were. I missed out on. I was in Colorado at the time. It was my first visit back to Colorado after not being there for like 4 years. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go, and Christmas is not gonna be too crazy. I can pop on, and then all of a sudden, everybody's out here buying all pro packs for like super cheap, and then getting a bunch of packs just stacked up for videos and just to pull stuff that were much better value than what they're offering in the store. So that's why they're mad because this company got mad at us.
So
for
do you
taking
think
advantage of their? I don't want to say mistake, but taking advantage of people posting cards for cheaper than they actually should have been going for.
I have a thing with that on that pro pack. I remember watching Clickwood's video, and I think Ryan, maybe you were on it too or something. Didn't you guys go into Photoshop and see that it said 7 times? So that wasn't a leak.
That was me.
Yeah, that was you.
Well, no. It definitely was a leak. Boogie had messaged me privately and said, "Hey, that gift you're speculating about is not just a pro pack," which me and Clickwood really went into Photoshop and we broke that. We sat there for like 4 hours on all these gifts. And we sat there and looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. And I'm like, okay, that's Odell. 100% I can match up the Odell picture on the Pro Pack with what's inside that ice cube. But I'm like, what's that text under it? I don't know. I don't know what it says. Boogie messaged me and he said, hey, that's not a Pro Pack. That's a 7 Pro Pack bundle or whatever it happened to be. I don't know if it was like 7 or 14. And I'm like, okay, well, how do you know this? And he's like, just trust me. And I'm like, well, I want to know because I need to know if I should buy all these gifts. And he's like, okay, you really want to know? And he just sent me the picture of it revealed. I'm like, okay, it's a 7 Pro Pack bundle.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how you got it, but thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah. But real quick, so Tex, you said you think that's why they're Nat. Are you sure they're Nat, or are you sure they're Nat right now because they just want you to spend money on the game?
I think
that's
it's a combination of things. Like it's Nat because they want you to spend money on the game as well. Plus, they try to protect people from themselves, so that way, like,
yeah,
because a lot of the stuff today maybe would have, like, because especially how rare gifts were. If they were kind of more common, I maybe might have more credence to this. But like with how rare they were, I guess they want people to be able to sell the gifts so that way they can make coins off of it, and then it kind of will just force you to keep what you have as opposed to being able to make profit off of shitty gifts.
Yeah, I understand.
So like, I'm pretty sure I could have sold, especially how rare they were today. Like, imagine if I could have sold my Frigid bundle or my Frigid pack. I could probably got more than like $50K for it, probably.
Like I understand both ways why people would say like gifts being auctionable are bad because then you could take advantage of like if you know what's inside. But that's the thing. Don't have your website able to be looked at the back end. Hide it like they have this year. They hid everything. Believe me, I've tried. I sat there on Muthead. I tried to change all the numbers, everything, to try to find anything I can. They got rid of the website, which showed all the details of what the new cards are coming out. Like, I don't want to get into whole big details on this. I know we probably want to switch topics here in a second, but I think it was back in Madden 15. I knew every single card that was going to come out until the end of the game that they had planned because of that website. You could see everything. Everything. Ultimate Legend, Barry Sanders, I saw right when Ultimate Legends dropped. I saw Barry Sanders, which is the last one.
They also kind of set us up, too, to cut you off. They put a Colin Kaepernick in the database and never released.
Yeah, and they ended up making that a blown-up card that I think Mutt Guru has in his room.
Yeah.
So I think that was to troll us, to be honest.
That was a troll, yeah. So I guess he was out here looking at the website.
That was the website that gave, like, player prices and stuff?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn. Yeah, I didn't know.
And they had like a little back end thing where you could like go in and okay, this item is called MUT item 114 .jpg, and you could change it to 115, 116, 117. Like, oh, there's an Ed Reed, there's a Barry Sanders, there's a Colin Kaepernick, Thursday night, whatever, you know.
Nice.
Obviously, that's not like a cool thing to have. Then it makes the game not fun. But, you know, some people did have it, and I don't know. Maybe that's the reason things are nat now. And
well, if that's gone, then what's the point of having the nat stuff, right? If that
exactly, that's what I'm saying. I know people that are super good at like looking at like coding a website, and they cannot find anything. They have hidden everything. Like everything is a bunch of random jumbled up numbers now instead of in order.
Well, you gotta get a scraper then. All right, so moving on from what are you guys' thoughts on the out of positions? I saw there was some little hate of it being too, I don't know, wacky. And that was kind of like what I said earlier with Weekend League made this game a little, if it made it a little too competitive versus just, you know, MUT used to be just fun. But now with Weekend League, with competitive Madden being such a focus, it seems much more like a lot of killers and sharks have circled around. And now we're all kind of after each other's throats here. And this out of position promo comes and we get like Bo Jackson at every single position in the game. He's playing offensive line, he's defensive line, cornerback, safety, everything. So what are you guys' thoughts on that specifically? Let's go to you first, Ryan.
I mean, like I said, my favorite MUT ever, Madden 13. I come from a Madden where a fake version, a commercial version of Deion Sanders was the most fun card to use, Leon Sandcastle. I like the wackiness. That's just me. I like it. One thing I don't like about it is, well, really the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that you have chems that are offensive based are now defensive. I don't like that. I don't like how the chems on the card are like
chems this year are just terrible.
Yeah, I don't like how blanket coverage is on wide receiver Deion. How is that going to help me?
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
Texas, you're a chem expert.
I mean, they fired me, bro. I was a chem expert, and I got they took my pension from me, man. I lost my tenure.
Fired with cause. With cause, too, huh? What'd you do, Tex?
I don't even know what I did, but whoever I offended at EA, bro, I'm sorry. Like, bring back the chemistry you had last year. We ain't even got dual chem yet. We had dual chem, like, right away, it felt like last year. Right now, we're in what? December? Going into the new year? We ain't even have dual chem players yet.
Yeah.
They tried to simplify it, and they did it wrong.
And then there's some like Lime would move the sticks chemistry, which they don't get benefited at all. Like, my Lane Johnson would move the sticks. I'm like, bro, okay, +1 to spin, cool. So just in case you pick a fumble up, you can shake somebody out of their shoes. Like, it's so stupid. But with the out of position mania that's going on right now, I don't mind it. It's just it's not what I expected. Because like with the promo, we usually get the same breakdown, which we get to later on, where we get like Ghost of Madden, future, past, and present. We get out of position players, and we get Ultimate Freeze players, and that's not what we got right now. They kind of went all in with the out of position players, and my only really complaint about it is they gave Julio and the Keenan Allen like 91 zone, and then they didn't give 91 zone to like the strong safety. What's that boy's name? Derek Brooks. And then on top of that, they didn't even give him read and react, they gave him toughness. So like, they're like trolling us on purpose at this point. Like now, if you want 2 safeties and 91 zone, you can spend $40K and get 2 of the best cards in this game. And whereas like they probably shouldn't even be like that. So I don't get what they were doing with it when it comes to that. And with the Bo Jackson being at every position, it's kind of fun, but only like 2 positions matter. On offense and on defense, only like 1 position really matters. So I kind of feel like they limited us to what we can actually do with this promo with these out of position players. Because a lot of the cards that we get back, even if you get the boss players, a few of them are going to be used. Like the Michael Vick, not usable. Like, you know, man coverage works a little bit this year. Zone is where everybody seems to be rocking, and the only way they got 91 zone is to spend about 1 million coins.
Yeah. So I completely agree. Talking about the stats, it's just more of them screwing up stats on cards. Like Julio Jones should be a physical freak. He shouldn't know how to play strong safety as well as the best players to ever play strong safety in the history of the NFL. Like he's up there with the Ken Houston card. The other one's at 91 zone. He plays it perfectly because he's got 91 zone. No, he should be like an ideal user. Same with Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson should have 94 speed, 95 speed back there, but under 91 zone. So it feels like I don't know what they're trying to go with that. Like this isn't Bo Jackson. This is just a guy that's got good stats back there. You know, I know it's got his name and everything, but that's not how Bo Jackson would play strong safety. He'd run around there with being the fastest guy in the field, smacking people. But that's not how it's done. So I totally agree on that. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I really don't have thoughts on it.
Okay, don't have thoughts. What about any of the other out of position players that you like. What do you think about the limited time cards that we've been getting every day here?
I mean, I like it. I love seeing limited time cards. Like, seems like it's kind of like a thing that they didn't really want to do this year that people complained about, and we got them back. We had a limited time card like right at the beginning of the year, right? Or actually two of them.
Yep.
We had Brian Urlacher and Tony G, and then they didn't do it for a while. And it's just one of those things where anytime I see a limited time card, it makes me want to get in there. It makes me want to, pull some packs, try to get it, because that's just the thrill of it. That's what MUT has always been for me, is the thrill of getting something that is a limited time thing, and if you get it, you not exactly feel special, but you feel accomplished. You want to, try it out. You want to, show to the world. You want to show your reaction, whatnot. I love limited time cards, and the reason I said I don't really have any thoughts on the whole Bo Jackson thing, all of the out of position stuff, is because I like it. I don't know. I kind of like all that stuff. It's kind of cool to me. I mean, maybe it's controversial. They'll be like, well, I like Bo Jackson at cornerback because it's wacky. I love wacky. I love MUT. MUT is an ultimate team. You build your ultimate team, and it's not something that, in my eyes, it's not something that you do to play like I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this, but yeah, you understand what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
I just love the wackiness.
Yeah. So no,
really
it's
cool.
not so much. It's not so much that I know some people don't like the out of position, whatever. I don't have a problem with the out of position guys. I like that. I just think the way they statted them was wrong. I was going.
Yeah,
along
definitely.
With
Yeah.
So with that, do you think? Okay, so MUT is for fun or whatever, and those are the best MUTs. Do you think competitive Madden should go back to regular teams and kind of, why hasn't made a video? And this is part of it. I watched it back in the day. Kind of competitors would be in the, and I talked about this last week. I think Texas too, where I talked about. I think Mr. Smith said a quote like this too. So there's even from like the competitive side, like should competitive guys just go back to regs, and we should hold our the tournaments in competitive Madden and regs, and then like leave MUT to kind of like the people who just want to have fun with the game. Ryan, let me hear your thoughts.
I mean, I'd hate to sound controversial and just sound like a Debbie Downer and a negative Nancy about everything, but I don't think they'll ever do that. I don't think they'll ever transition back to head-to-head Madden because there's no money in that for EA. EA wants them to play MUT. They want them to play, the MUT tournaments, and they want them to spend money on packs and get coins and get players and stuff via their little microtransactions that they have. That's, in my opinion, there shouldn't even be a debate about it. They want them to buy packs. They want to get money. They want that quarterly income to be high. That's just how I personally feel. I feel like EA is all about the money. They want their competitive players to play MUT. They made the transition fully. That's why they brought MUT Squads back. They want people that want to have fun on the game. They want them to spend money to be able to compete on MUT Squads. That's why Squads wasn't just normal squads. It turned into MUT Squads so people can play with their team that they buy packs with. That's just how I feel. Maybe I'm just being too much of an ass about it, but I don't think competitive will ever see it go back to regs.
But in an ideal, I no, it's a completely valid opinion, and it's one I generally agree with. But in your ideal world, would you think it's best being back to regs?
Yes, because it makes it back to where it was, where MUT was more of a fun-based thing. But again, it's kind of cool, in my opinion, to see them play MUT, because it's like a whole different type of thing that you can have random players on their teams. No one wants to watch the same team versus the same team. No one wants to watch Seattle versus Seattle versus Seattle versus Seattle versus Seattle. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you want to see those teams being made by the competitive players. In an ideal world, I think they should keep playing MUT. That's my opinion.
Okay. Texas?
I said this last week, and I would probably like to see them go back, because like they don't really even play MUT. Like they do variations or modes in Madden Ultimate Team, but it's not MUT. MUT is building the best team possible, competing with it. Whereas what these guys are doing is random draw for draft champions and then salary cap, where you're limited to what your lineup actually is.
That's true.
So I would kind of like to see them actually do a MUT tournament. But again, what Rex said, it's not player friendly.
Yeah, because then it'd be pay to win in their mind.
What Madden is essentially, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to that, like I saw some. If we're going on to the pre-recorded tournament, Texas, you had a thought about that? Did you want to talk about
that just happened. So I don't even know what they're doing with it, but nobody likes past broadcasts, and so I don't know why they couldn't just do this tournament live. I wonder if this was on the slate to be pre-recorded, or they're reacting to what happened previously, where they want to have more control over what comes up on the air, like censorship in a sense. So they can control the message as opposed to having people react live. I mean, obviously tournaments in the future are going to be live, but this one just seemed kind of out of place. I think it's the Texas tournament right now where they're doing all this stuff, and they recorded it, and then now they're just going to re-air it on Twitch. It's not live, so that's kind of a weird thing to do, because I don't know how many man hours goes into doing that, where you got to set the production up and then have all the stuff recorded and then edit it, where you can just do it live. It should be a little bit more affordable, I guess, to do. But I don't get what's the point of kind of limiting these guys' interactions and Madden real moments live. Then
the weird thing was that they didn't edit out any like swear words or "this game is bad" stuff. From what I don't really watch it. I don't have that much interest, but it's weird they didn't edit it out. You pre-record it, why not edit it out, right?
Right, that makes the most sense to me. Like, if you know that these people are going to be unhinged because you're making your product's not where you want it to be, it'd be more. You want people to actually, in sponsors and people to actually like put money behind this. Like, you would want to have it be kind of sterile, be kind of clean, and palatable to people who are trying to get into it for the first time, or people who are trying to pay you to have their logo plastered on the damn back of the screen or whatever. So you would think they would have done that, but I guess it's kind of weird. Like, it'd just be much easier just to do all this live. I don't get why they had to do it this way.
Yeah, agreed. Ryan, any final thoughts on how about just competitive Madden in general? Any thoughts?
Well, I was just gonna add one thing real quick to that whole pre-recorded thing. Are we supposed to know what happens before it's like aired?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're supposed to watch it as it is and pretend like it's live, right?
Yeah.
So my thing of why I hate it then is because last night I'm sitting there watching Joel versus Mattster Gamer, which I've had some pretty fun matches with online before. I'm watching the match and, I'm reading the Twitch chat, having fun. They're being really entertaining while playing. And I see Joel in there, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's pre-recorded, and I see Joel spoiling it. So I'm like, I don't even care anymore. Like, someone's like, Joel, you losing, bruh, and he's like, hee, just wait. Like, I don't know, like, no. No, if don't go in the chat of your own game and spoil it. Stop. But what was your question again about
just competitive? Like, do you think competitive Madden? Like, what do you see as competitive Madden's future? Do you see a big future for it?
I mean, yeah, I guess, because I think they're doing it more and more so that they've ever done, and I think it's just going to keep getting. Obviously, they're going to work out like kinks that they may have. I mean, obviously, everything needs to be live. That's first and foremost. It needs to be live. We don't want to see pre-recorded things. Having it live is, I don't know if they're like worried, but like you said, they didn't edit out any, this game is terrible. Oh my God. They didn't edit out like your ass, bro. Like, they didn't edit out any of that stuff. So I don't really get the point of making it pre-recorded. But more so answering your question in, I don't know. I mean, I just see it getting better and better. How can it get worse?
Yeah,
I think it has a good future.
So you were around playing Madden. Madden was one of the very first competitive esports in the 2000s, and then with that bus, and then it really died around 13, 14, 15. There was no tournament, and then now they brought it back. EA's putting a lot of money and a lot of man hours trying to pump these players' stories, trying to make them into celebrities essentially in the Madden community. Why did it fail the first time, and why do you know?
I mean, I was like a teenager watching what's his name?
Problem?
Yo Mama and Problem on, I think it was called Madden. What was it called again?
Madden Nation.
Madden Nation, yeah, and I mean that was really entertaining for me. Obviously, I love Madden. I love football. I was watching it with my friends and whatnot. I understood why we loved to watch it. I didn't really see a market for that on TV. I didn't really see like my dad, like I would have it on, and he wasn't even interested at all in watching it. And a couple of my other friends were like, "Why are you watching people play Madden on TV? Like, why don't you just go play Madden?" So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's why I failed. I have no idea, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
Whereas like nowadays we're much more in the culture of like Twitch, where we actually do watch people play video games. It's more accepted now than it was back then, huh?
if they could somehow, like, I'm not saying copy it, but I feel like Call of Duty has the best competitive, like I don't even know how to really describe it. Like the way COD does their championship series and stuff like that. You know, you're watching the teams like Optic and FaZe and all those guys. The way they have their competitive mode set up and how they interact with stuff and how it's always live and everything, like that's perfect. If they could somehow get it like that, then it has a huge future. But I'm not sure how it's going to end up going out. I don't know. I just think COD has the best competitive, and I always like to watch that, even though I don't really care about COD anymore.
I got you.
I don't know.
All right, so do you? Let's talk about this Motivators controversy that kind of came up.
Yeah.
So Motivators, they made them. They said for originally they said Motivators are going to be in packs for a limited time. That's why they're not giving them power-up cards. Then the community's like, well, why aren't we getting power-up cards? Your power-up program sucks. They're like, all right, fine, community. We'll listen to you. We'll put out a set for Motivators. And then you got the people that bought these packs salty because they lost a lot of coins on their Motivator, either whether they invested into them. And I tried to tell them not to invest in Motivators because you usually get a gift of Motivators, which sink their price.
Yep.
But people invested into Motivators off some advice somewhere, and when the set came out, they kind of crashed the price of the Motivators, and people got salty. So some people called up EA support. There was a big controversy on Muthead, Reddit, of course, Twitter, saying, you know, you screwed up. You said it was limited, and then you caved to our demands, wanting more for power-ups. And then now I bought based on limited, so give me my money back. Some people actually got their money back. Texas,
Well, not from EA.
Oh, yeah, because because Microsoft handles the transactions for the points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all right,
Microsoft,
Texas, take it over. Yep.
It's like, if you want a refund on PS4, you're not going to get it because PS4 refund process goes like this. If the points are still on your account, you can get a refund. If they're not, they can tell. I don't know how they can tell you spent the points. They can tell that you spent it. You can't get a refund because even though it was kind of false advertising. So this whole controversy could have been avoided if they would have just given power sets in the first place. The excuse of these cards being limited made no sense after people start bringing up stuff like, well, Thanksgiving content's limited because they're not in packs right now. Same thing with the what was the other one? The Halloween promo. Like the Sherman's not in packs right now. And so what's the difference between that and right now? And so if they would have just been more consistent and stopped making up these rules for power-ups as they go, because I made a video about this. Like Jake Stein said power-ups can be the best version of that card in the game. And then that goalpost moved when they said master cards will be powered up. And then when limited times came out, the goalpost moved again, which I understand we can't power those cards up, but it should still be an option. Then the goalpost moved again with this actually before we even get to that point, it moved with the Nat cards. You couldn't even power up Nat cards at the beginning of the year. Like they had to make a set for it. Because it was just from the get-go just a complete shell game, it felt like, where it wasn't a plan. It just seemed like they kept making them as they gone. And so with this Motivators controversy, all could have been avoided if, for one, they would have had the foresight to realize that people wanted to power up certain cards. That Melvin Gordon is amazing. I don't know if you've seen his powered up version of Fox and if you're going to power him up, but I feel like you should. Waste your coin. He's not even going for that much anyway. But like people wanted to be able to power up Des Bryant, power up the Michael Thomas cards they pulled out of the gauntlet on Leash that were that haven't had cards all year, and you finally give them a card, and then you shaft them. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, these dudes have held on to these cards for a while. And then when you say they can't be powered up, now a person stuck with an 80. Michael Thomas is 88, right? He's an 89, right? So yeah, people are stuck with 8. People had to basically bench their Nat 80 tier 3 Michael Thomas to use the higher tier one when that wasn't what the goal or the plan was from the get go.
Yep.
So that's why I hated about it. So I'm kind of glad that people got their refunds because it was false advertising. The whole power set's kind of been false advertising, if you're being honest. But I'm glad that people took action to their own hands because EA's messed up, and it's kind of cool to capitalize on companies' mess ups because a lot of companies don't take responsibility. And in this case, EA is not taking responsibility, but at least some company, or at least Microsoft, is willing to give people back their refund for being duped.
Yeah,
there's just so many negatives to power ups.
Yeah, let me hear your
too
thoughts.
Many positives. Yeah. It's just like I love power-ups because it makes the card obviously better. It makes it get an ability. Most of the time you get an ability on the card. But I just feel like there's so many more negatives to power-ups than there is positives because it started off you couldn't even power up your Nat cards. So you got, like, my buddy pulled Tom Brady like day one he played Madden. He got Tom Brady NAT by playing squads. And we're like, wow, we could power that up and get, I think, Conductor on it. That'd be really good for squads because we like to do a whole bunch of, audibles and whatnot. And you couldn't do the NATs. And then, fast forward, the power-ups, you figure out, oh, they're NAT. You lose all the coins on that card. And then, finally when this new Tom Brady that finally comes out that we've been waiting forever for, so our offensive guy can have a new Tom Brady, he's going to end up having to buy that card for like $600K, power that up into the card he already has, and he's going to lose the coins on that one too. Like, I think there's so many negatives to power-ups and not a lot of positives, and they don't know what they're doing with them. They're coming up with things on the fly, like Tex said. The whole motivator thing, look, I appreciate the hell out of you, EA, for listening to us and making them, able to be powered up, but don't sit there and make us spend that much money on a set of cards that come out, and then bring out a set later that costs $200K. Like, don't do that. That's ridiculous. And yeah, I fell into the trap. I bought a Von Miller, mostly out of peer pressure from everyone on squads. We need Von. Okay, I'll buy Von, 1.1 million. Oh, now he's 700K. So, that sucks.
Wait, why did he go down 400K?
It costs
700K.
It costs 200,000 coins to do the motivator pack. So
I gotcha. Yeah.
Instead of paying 400,000 coins for, you can basically get 2 for the price of for the 1.
Yeah, because when he was limited, when you had to buy the motivator packs, they were super expensive, and he was the rarest one to get. Mm-hmm. So he was super expensive, and now he's not limited anymore. Now he's only 700K.
Yeah. So talking about squads, Ryan, you've basically, have you spent most of your time in Madden 18 on squads?
Yes.
Are you close to the John Madden coach?
I don't run coach. Clickwood's trying to get it. We're trying to help him get it. Now that they made it actually like auctionable, we're probably going to do something stupid and end up pulling all our coins together and getting it for him so he can help us out. But it's just one of those things where we have always been the type of people that just want to have fun on Madden, and we want to play team play. And when we heard team, I wasn't even going to get this game. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but at near the end of Madden 17, I could not take it anymore. Madden Ultimate Team was not fun to me anymore. I did not want to play it. I quit everything. I didn't upload videos for X amount of time. I told everybody I'm sorry. I'm not going to upload videos anymore. It's not because of you guys. It's not because of any other reason other than I don't have fun playing Madden anymore. If I can somehow upload other videos and you guys want to stay with me and watch, I could do that, but I don't want to play Madden anymore. When I heard Rex say, team play is back, MUT Squads, I'm like, oh, well, that changes everything. I'm going to play again. Like, I love squads, so I don't like to see things, negatively affecting it. I want the game mode to be, I want it to be good, and it's been okay, but there's a lot of issues in MUT Squads. Like, there's a lot of them.
Can you go through some of them and then how you'd fix them?
Okay, well, we had the issue that myself and Tex have ran into multiple times, and that's you get to the playoffs, you go undefeated, you run the table like we do all the time, you go 7-0 or whatever it is to get to the playoffs, and once you get to the playoffs, all of a sudden, for some reason, the game decides it wants to not start, and everyone gets a loss and kicked out of their playoffs. Ooh. I don't know why it happens, but it happens all the time. Now they've apparently fixed it. I haven't really seen too many issues, but basically now they implemented something where like it says waiting for your opponent to connect or whatever, and it won't kick you out of the game. For whatever reason, they had something where if you viewed a lineup before you started the game, you would get kicked and the game wouldn't count and you would get kicked out of the playoffs. That's one of the issues that they've apparently fixed. I'm happy with it. Kind of took a little bit too long, but whatever. Another issue we have with MUT Squads is the leaderboards. Why is it just based on how many wins you have? Why are all the other leaderboards like based on just however they do the leaderboards, based on how many wins you have versus how many losses you have?
Well, it depends on the leaderboard. Like you're right, some of them go off like ELO or whatever. The other ones, like the MUT head to head, is just how many wins you have too.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's like that. It's kind of
I don't really like a salary cap style.
Yeah, I don't really care about leaderboards too much, but it's kind of nice to see like your name up there. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird for me.
Yeah, no, a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like to see that our team is doing well. Like we're a really good squad. Unless we run into Hoshogs and we can't beat him.
Oh really?
But,
how many times you faced him?
Oh my god! Like I think 25-ish losses, legit losses where I didn't get disconnected, Shugs has to be like 9 or 10 of the 25.
Really?
Yes, we have not beaten him, and we probably will never beat him.
Really? It came close one time, I think. Was that you or was that Vic?
It was myself. My buddy I was talking about that has that defense.
Yeah.
His name is VY Electrify. He goes by Give Me the Fluke. It was myself, him, and someone named Dairy Pro. We were actually up on him by 14 points. I'm not saying anything malicious happened there, but somehow we all got disconnected out of it.
That easy button, man. That easy button.
But I think what ended up happening was I didn't have the live content update or whatever, and it just decided to kick me out, and I got a desync error.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's what happened. But
yeah. Apparently he's pretty.
And one more.
He's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He is like what he does is he has like everybody else not touch their controller on offense, and he runs it, and to the point where if he decides to throw it to the person you're on, then you can make moves and whatnot, but he loves to be able to control every aspect of what goes on offense. He'll do playmaker. He'll do whatever he has to do to get his plays that he likes to run to work, because if a user route is not as effective as a CPU running.
Yeah.
Like they will run it a lot better than you can, and they do it perfectly. So he likes to do that. So that's why he's virtually unbeatable, because it's like you're playing just him. And then you also have people that can, do the jukes and do the spins.
Yeah, and then on defense you got 3 players. Yeah, you still have.
And his defense is hell. So there's definitely that. And then the one thing I do want to bring up, I don't know if people that are watching this, if you play MUT Squads a lot, but one of the things that I personally hate, I wanted to talk about this before. I wanted Tex to bring this up to Rex. I was gonna say having having like a flat route. If you have like your running back in like a flat or whatever, and you try to like run with him like anywhere else other than that flat, you cannot throw it. Why? Fix it, please. But that's all I got to say about MUT Squads.
Wait, objectives as well.
Oh yeah.
What about
yeah, like it got to the point where you get 200 squads wins and you get X amount of squads tokens, but we have nothing else. Why?
Well,
why haven't they updated it?
You have the biggest for objectives, yeah. I think it's kind of weird. They gave like basically the greatest grinding reward in Madden that I've been a part of, that John Madden coach, and they gave it to squads this year. It's kind of weird, right?
I mean, even if you would say that you can get that all by grinding, don't you still have to like do like MUT based stuff where you have to like get those coaches powered up?
Well, you can trade in squad tokens for the coaches.
And now you can't. Before you couldn't. So the guys that did it before, like Hashim was the first one to do it. Like he had to spend 96 elite tokens, 96 gold tokens, and 96 silver tokens.
So you can actually grind for the John Madden now.
Yeah, I think it's 1,200 squads tokens now for John Madden in total, which is way too many considering there's no more objectives. So Ryan, how many wins you got in squads right now?
I think like 350 or 400.
Like, why isn't there like anything for 300 wins, 400 wins, 500 wins?
Well,
you get like 100 collectibles.
Okay. So, all right, I'm trying to remember the squad. I don't know the squad basically breakdown, but you get 1 squad token per win, and then bonus squad tokens in the playoffs, right?
But this is what Ryan had his 200 wins before they updated it. So Ryan he had 200 wins like I want to say a month into the game, 2 months into the game. Like, it was quick. So he didn't get none of the benefits from like being in all Madden. So obviously, if you're in the top tier for squads, rewards you're gonna be getting are gonna be amazing if you're up there. But because they didn't retroactively put the guys that had that many wins in that tier, he had to start from the bottom, and then they didn't have any new squad objectives, so he had to start over. And now he's kind of playing. It has to get up to that tier to get the tokens, as opposed to them putting out more objectives. Like, why haven't we got? I mean, there's a lot of questions in the game with the why. Why haven't we got road to the playoffs yet? Why haven't we got mid-season master? But why haven't we got squad objectives for the guys that are over 200?
Yeah, and it's something that they pushed right from the get-go. Like, they had the MUT Squads t-shirts on. They're talking about how squads have fun playing squads with your buddies, and beat us, find us on there. We're going to be on there. And now it just seems like it's a dead game mode that they did update it right there where we got to be able to grind with John Madden. I didn't even realize that, by the way. I didn't know you could grind for the John Madden now. No one really even thought you could do that, so no one really cared to look. But why don't we have objectives? How hard is it to add 300 wins? Or 400. I mean, you got what's the current solo challenge objective? 1,500. You get like 250k.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, so why can't we get higher tiers? Like, how hard is it to add that into the game?
Is there? It's not hard at all. Is there a head-to-head objective up at 200? No. Oh.
No head-to-head at all, unfortunately. Head-to-head pretty much is they do those like with the promo one. So head-to-head one right now.
We got one right now.
You have to get a boss player. So if you get 40 wins, you get a boss player.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I just feel like the way they have it tiered out now, where if you get an all Madden, you get like a ton of, I think you get like 30 tokens if you go undefeated and run the table. It's crazy how many you get. So maybe they just feel like that's way too good to add more objectives, but it's still fun to grind for that stuff. Like, why not add it? Like, what's it going to hurt?
But how many people are up there, though? Like, people keep getting lagged out or getting demoted because they're.
I mean, there's tons of people right now that have that many wins. And the thing is, what's going to happen if they do update it? Like, I'm at 400 wins. Am I just going to automatically get it?
I would hope so. They did like with that last year where they had like, if you had like all the objectives knocked out, like 92 overall, and all the sets completed, solo challenges played, you get like a bunch of packs and coins. So they can definitely do that. I doubt they do though. I mean, it'll kind of bring life back to squads. I try to play squads, but that new update it did to kind of basically to counteract bots kind of ruined the mode, because I lose at least 2 games every season just off of basically just getting lagged out of a game before the game even starts, which then I got to win 6 or 7 to make the playoffs, and if I don't, I get demoted. Like, come on now.
Oh, there is one more thing I want to talk about with squads real quick. I forgot to mention it. My friend's going to kill me if I don't mention it.
Okay.
For some reason, in the Super Bowl, it's only the Super Bowl. Only the Super Bowl. If you make it to the Super Bowl, for some reason, there is lag in the Super Bowl. Delayed button presses. I don't know why.
That's weird.
That's something that needs to be addressed. I need to actually get in contact with, like, Kralo or something.
Send that issue into Kralo. That seems. Is it is the Super Bowl like paint on the field or something, or the stadium?
I don't know what goes on. Like, my friend that's quarterback says that there is a massive like button delay. He'll press a button, like a receiver button, to throw it to us, and it'll take like 2-3 seconds. I think it happens to. Didn't that happen to Vic? Tex?
It happened to Vic. I know it happened to Nick as well. We're playing, and it was my Super Bowl, and he said, "No, you're being quarterback," because he was not trying to be responsible for me losing. It's only in the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's because of the presentation or something's wrong with it, but there needs to be something fixed about that.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, definitely send that forward to Kralo, because I don't play squads a ton. I didn't really like the mode, but forward it on to Kralo. I don't know. You obviously like it a lot, but it feels like the mode's a lot. It's a lot of the same mode that you'll see in head-to-head, but more. You know what I mean? Like, squads, because of the users over the field, it's a lot more running. Like, you go from, like, 80% runs in head-to-head to, like, 90-plus in squads. Would you say that's accurate, or what's the meta in squads, Ryan?
The
Ryan,
way we play...
Before you talk, do before patch and after patch, because that changed how the meta, when they tuned the game.
Yeah, well, before patch, you could do the thing where, like I said, you could throw it to that flat route on the running back anywhere you wanted, but for some reason they patched it and you can't do it anymore. So that was like the meta for us. We would sit there and just do that. We would use who were we using? We were using
Walker as a tight end spot, and then
and we're using Lamar Miller, like the free one that you got by grinding, your MUT levels, and he was so good at it. Like, you could just do that over and over again. But now, basically, if you can't run the ball in squads, it's damn near impossible to run perfect routes to get around and weave around those 3 users that they got on the field. Like, it's really hard. Like, I understand what you mean about that. Like, it's at least 95% running. If we can't run the ball, we're going to have a rough time. But our defense is so good that it doesn't really matter. As long as we could get a field goal up on the board, you're probably not going to score.
So squads is like super defensive mode, basically.
Oh, yeah, and we love that. We're defensive players. We love the ability to, we have myself, we have my buddy Nick, which is really good, or we have Clickwood, and, Clickwood's really good at jumping those quick flat routes. And myself and Nick, we're really good at defending the middle of the field. Like, you cannot throw to the middle of the field. It will be intercepted. No matter what you do, it's getting picked. So our only weakness really is we need to have someone on one sideline, another person on the other sideline, someone in the middle. Because obviously people are going to throw the out routes and whatnot on squads, and it's kind of hard to set up that defense I was talking about with 3 people, if you know what I mean, if you can figure it out, but I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I mean, definitely it's more of a run-based game. I wish they would change it. I wish they would change the way it is on squads. It feels like a completely different game. I don't know why.
Really?
Like, it does, yeah, it does not feel like head-to-head. Like, obviously the pitch play is so effective in, when you're playing head-to-head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in MUT Squads, pitch doesn't work.
So what do you run in MUT Squads then?
A lot of delayed handoffs, draws. inside zone. You have to
see a lot of that on head-to-head too now.
A big thing on squads is out of the Bills playbook, that quarterback draw.
Fucking A. Yeah.
Michael Vick
It
quarterback
is-
draw.
Yep.
That is the hardest play to defend in MUT Squads. I don't know why.
Well, it sets up so well.
I was watching
yeah.
them play because I'll be in Skype calls with them while they're playing squads, and just the strategy that goes into stopping Michael Vick quarterback draw is just amazing.
Well, you know.
Oh my God, you have to be so attentive to stop him.
Well, here's the thing. So it's in that 5 wide bunch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I saw, or if you have a blitzing nickel off the bunch side, I don't know in squads, but in head-to-head, that's the way to help shut that down. So
We've been running a lot of 3-4 Predator, and what we'll end up doing is we'll have it set up to where we'll have a gap in between the left guard and then the left tackle, and we'll just shoot like Lawrence Taylor right through there, and we're pretty good at stopping it now. Like, we can get right through that gap, and he can't really maneuver around it. Like, he's going to end up getting hit. I've been trying to think about putting like an unfakeable guy there so he can't juke him out, because obviously Vic is ridiculous to stop.
Yeah, I think, okay. Well, if you got your own method, you got your own method. Because squads is definitely different than regular head-to-head. But just FYI.
It feels way different.
Yeah. So, Texas, do you want to address that again?
Because like Ryan plays more than I do. I know Ryan plays weekend league as well. Like, what are the differences you notice when you're playing squads versus head-to-head? Like,
I mean, the best I could describe it is, like, have you ever played the NHL games?
no,
Like EA's NHL games?
A long time ago.
Okay, well, they have a game mode called EASHL, which is basically you play with your friends against a team of other people. Well, that is confirmed. That gameplay is different on EASHL than it is on playing just normal head-to-head. It's a completely different system of how you play. That's what it feels like in MUT Squads. I don't know why. Like I said, it feels like there are like 5 times as many block sheds on MUT Squads. I don't know why. Maybe because there's more users, a lot more people can get off blocks a little bit better. Passing accuracy seems to be down on MUT Squads. I don't know what difficulty the game is on MUT Squads. Maybe that's a difference.
It could just be the sliders too, you know? Like,
yeah, it could be sliders, difficulty, something. I don't know what it is, but it definitely feels different. Like, running the ball is harder on MUT Squads.
But still, that's your complete.
sure.
That's your offense, though.
Yeah,
It's funny because passing the ball is much harder.
Yeah, everything's harder. It feels like on MUT Squads. Like I said, maybe it's because you have 3 users on the field as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
Maybe you play a little bit more scared because you don't want to make a mistake. Obviously, the quarterback has the most pressure on him ever. And that's another thing. Not even talking like when I say has pressure on him, I'm talking about like being able to perform and not throw interceptions. But pressure is extremely better on MUT Squads. Like I said, you can get in instantly, no matter what. You can run a stock, whatever, a blitz, whatever you want to run. Anything you want to run, you're going to get a block shed instantly. You're going to be in the backfield, right in the quarterback's face all the time. My friend only has 2 seconds to throw the ball at all times. Doesn't matter. I don't know why. I don't understand why.
Does somebody use the D-line there?
Most of the time there will be a D-line user, and like Aaron Donald, and he'll get in really quick. Like, he'll press one button and get in like 99% of the time.
Yeah, I hate that.
But even if they're not, even if there's like 3 users, like when we play Hoshugs, like he has the 3 users. Somehow, maybe he's nano blitzing. I don't know what he's doing, but he can get in instantly, like right up the middle. He'll get a block shed by one of his guys, and we'll get sacked. It seems like it's way more obvious in MUT Squads that you're getting sacked a lot more frequently than you are in head-to-head. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Maybe it's all in my head. I don't know. Maybe it is the same, but
I kind of experience the same thing because, like, even like my defense, I'll have like I have Olivier Vernon out there. I'm like, why does he have 5 sacks this game? Then I go online and he gets pancaked. I'm like, wait, he was just destroying Walter Jones. Now he's getting pancaked by Donald Penn.
that one game we played, me, you, and Clickwood, your Olivier Vernon had like what, 5-6 sacks in the second quarter.
Yeah, it's not even like the MUT Hero Vernon. It's the 88 base core elite Vernon.
I'll tell you what, Joey Bosa is the best player in MUT Squads ever because he has that combo, finesse and power move.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be even more. I'll probably get the Bruce Smith, and we'll have dual edge coming off there, unstoppable.
That'll be brutal. Yeah, but block shed isn't as good though. Are you worried about that?
Yeah, I don't know how he gets in all the time.
Yeah.
Block shit's weird, man. Like, I mentioned this a lot. Like, Anthony Barr, he sacks more than a lot of guys. Not sacks, but for run plays than me, he stops more runs than he's supposed to. He's 81 block shit. I don't know how he's out here doing it.
And I feel like, so I have Lawrence Taylor. He played a lot worse than I thought he would against the run. I think it's just intelligence. I was a little disappointed by him. Like, he just got caught up a lot. I don't know how to explain that.
It's probably intelligence in that height threshold. Because I know this Barr plays well on those, and so does Calais Campbell. But then I had Lawrence Taylor and
Calais Campbell,
Brooks, and they're just bad.
Campbell played terrible for me in a 4-3.
Well, yeah, I run a 3-4, so.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to the rumor that I hear about how, like, named players like Odell Beckham, Von Miller, like, they get different animations because of who, like, they're a unique, like, top player? Is there anything to that? Anyone done any testing on that?
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, I always hear by a couple of buddies of mine, like, oh, you got to get Des Bryant because he has his own catch animation, or you got to get Odell Beckham because he has his own, juke moves and whatnot. Like, is that, you've never heard of that before?
No. Might be a good question for EA.
Yeah, it might be something that you might want to look into, or maybe I'll look into it. I don't know, but I don't know. I haven't really seen anything with my own eyes, but once I got Von Miller, I noticed that he was doing a little bit more different type of animations. I don't know. Maybe it's just, again, maybe it's in my head. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard Texas.
I mean, it makes sense if they did. That was supposed to be the thing back in Madden 16 where Odell Beckham was supposed to be the only one with the Odell Beckham catch, but then they gave everybody that damn catch. I remember. I don't know if this was code. I don't know who broke this, but they said like Amendola possession receiver is going to get more different possession catch like animations than like a Des Bryant would, or Edelman, I should say. Not Edelman, it's Edelman. And there's supposed to be stuff like that based off of how these players actually played. And if an exclusive player or a top 5, top 10 player at that position has different animations, I would like that. So, like Dwight Freeney, if you drop to the man right now, he gets that. He's the only person that has that Dwight Freeney spin move. That'd be kind of cool, but they don't know how to code stuff like that. Like, even LT doesn't even have his touchdown celebration. Like, he doesn't do it. Like, why not?
Yeah, they have a few touchdown celebrations, but to work and put in an animation into the game just to put it for one player for like a block shed or a catch animation, would it be worth it? Maybe to make him unique.
I don't know.
If that's the legend you're selling, like if you're selling a legend Dwight Freeney and he's the only one that has that quick spin move, then yeah.
I think that's definitely something.
There's no point to get that card.
I feel like they'd advertise that though, right? Like
they would have to. They'd probably do it in a commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it make the money back off. Like,
I mean, the one thing that you...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the one thing you should test, and I can confirm that it feels different, is take Odell Beckham, the master Odell Beckham, that is a 93 overall, right?
Okay.
Yeah, take that card, test it out with, like, doing spins, and then try Marvin Harrison, which has better spin move. Apparently, 91 is a threshold for that, right?
Yeah, it's around there. I had to look up what the exact threshold was. I don't know what that was.
But Odell's spin move is lower than Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison does have 91 spin move, but he spins slower than Odell. Why? Like, he will make less people miss with his spin move. I don't know what's going on with that.
Huh.
I've actually noticed it, too. Like, if you have that Odell Beckham, because I have it, and I tried Marvin Harrison, and my buddy was like, yeah, I switched to Marvin Harrison, but I already sold him because he has better attributes, but he doesn't play as good as Odell Beckham. I think Odell has his own, specific things that he can do. I tried it out, and I kind of agree with him. Odell does have a better spin move than Marvin Harrison. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get that either, but I guess it would make sense. I'm bringing up the threshold page. Let me find spin move.
Pretty sure it's 91 because everybody's using that.
No, it's 88. It's 88 according to CFM.
For top tier?
Okay.
For top tier spin move, yeah.
Interesting.
Definitely weird.
Trucking is 90. Juke move is 90.
I mean, is it like the smaller you are, maybe the quicker you do things?
Yeah, maybe. Height and weight could play a factor into it. I don't know.
Well, your weight testing didn't really prove anything about like height and weight actually matter. I mean, height for speed
height,
it does, but for
height mattered, yeah. But
like, I don't mean to get into like conspiracy theories about all this, but it's just something that was brought to my attention. I tried it and I felt a difference.
This is the MUT community. Conspiracy theories are embraced and spread.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, do you want to talk about conspiracy theories quick? Do you guys subscribe to EA manipulating the market by buying cards?
we saw them do it once, so I kind of think we kind of have to be aware.
Don't they do that on mobile?
They've done that before, so I would say yeah.
But frequently? Like Wheels put out a tweet today. He says he thinks EA manipulated the market on what limited time card came out today, the Winslow, because somebody bought up all the Winslows and they listed them at 500K or something like that. Do you think that was EA, or do you think that was just some dumb investor?
Sheesh, bro. I mean, like, if EA done it once, they can do it again. That one's probably not EA, but that's weird. But because I know people were talking about that with the Dick Lane as well.
Yeah, Night Train. That's what I was going to bring up.
So I don't know, but I just know what they did last year with that Randy Moss, where people were making crazy profits off of EA buying the card just so they had it just. Like, I wonder what that account looked like. Like 1,000 Randy Mosses on it. Like, what was going on with that account last year?
Yeah, I don't think the Randy Moss thing didn't really make that much of a dent in the market because it just kept going back down. There was just so many Randy Mosses. But as to that one, yeah. So it is. I know we have seen EA do it before, but something like that. I think there's a lot of people with a lot of coins that make a lot of bad decisions, and they try to corner a market. What they think is a good idea. But like as we see, this Kettle and Winslow's back down to 285. So that person.
He's that cheap?
Yeah. And the Ed Reed's at like 220. It's pretty cheap today.
That's because everybody said that Ed Reed that came out today was good. He's terrible.
Really? Why?
He doesn't have no block shit, bro. Like I used Derek Brooks, who had 85 block shit, and sold him because he couldn't tackle anybody or stop run plays. What Ed Reed gonna do? Yeah. Like, I mean, if you and that cover 2 Tampa nonsense, he's gonna be great dropping back as middle linebacker, but he's not gonna do anything in run support.
It's a fair point.
Wow,
yeah.
That Winslow is cheap. Wow. That's crazy.
All right. So one more conspiracy theory, then we'll wrap it up. Equalizer. Do you buy into it, Ryan?
I would say yes. I don't really have a huge experience with it myself, but I've definitely seen it happen. I mean, I can't really give you an instance of where I've seen it, but I've definitely seen it where, someone may have a 5 times better team than someone else, but the other guy can keep up with them, not because of skill, but because of some other random unknown reason. I don't know. I just kind of feel like there's something in the game. And is it confirmed that there's an equalizer?
No.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely feels like there is.
Okay.
Sometimes, at least from what I see. I can't really give you a full. I'm not going to really get into it, but
all right.
I mean, maybe you guys had better.
I said quick take on it. So you are a subscriber. I am not. Texas, how about you?
This year not as much as years past because it's not really any budget cards that can kind of balance it out. And so going with based off overall and ratings. But I have seen some wonky stuff like playing MUT Squads. And you have Khalil Mack going against the gold right tackle, and Khalil Mack doesn't block shit at all for passing or for run stuffing.
Would Equalizer translate into like games where you feel like no matter what you do, you're just going to lose anyways?
See, here's the thing. Like, I don't know. So Madden is a bunch of dice rolls. Like the dice roll that Mack beats a gold tackle. Say the gold tackle's got a 40% chance at blocking Khalil Mack. Say he rolls the dice 40% of the time, 5 times in a row. You're like, okay, this is bullshit. But that can happen. Not frequently, but it can happen. So humans have a hard time rationalizing randomness. And that's kind of what I go with the Equalizer. Sometimes I've definitely been in those games. I'm like, all right, every single dice roll is rolling against me. All these things, these tips, whatever.
Exactly.
The holes are just opening for my opponent. I can't do anything. So I've definitely been in those games, and I don't know if it's so much the Equalizer as just you got screwed by RNG. That's my thought.
It almost seems like not even like coincidence based. It feels like it's happening just to you because it wants to happen to you.
And the thing is, like, I've been on the other side where there's nothing my opponent does. Everything's going my way, and like the game will end like 35-0, but like the opponent wasn't that bad. So
yeah, you get every fumble, you get every interception, you get every animation, you get every block shed, every overthrow goes your way.
Yeah. So I've been on both sides.
I definitely have as well. I played a guy where he literally was not destined to win. He fumbled like 3 times and overthrew an open receiver right to my safety behind him. I'm like, yep, you're not meant to win this game. He was so mad too. I was like, bro, I'm sorry, Madden cheated you right there. Like you had no shot.
Yeah. See, I don't know how frustrated you guys get at Madden, but when I get frustrated at Madden, it's not so much the random stuff happening. Like, okay, that sucks that I fumble, but that shit just happens. Like I get mad at like the bullshit coding, like my guy not taking a proper angle, or them not interacting on a player, they're not jumping for a ball. That's what really frustrates me. More like the mental stuff. The fullback completely missing his block.
Yes, that right there.
Even though he's a high-end fullback. So that's what more frustrates me about Madden than the random chance not going my way, like the overthrows. I'm like, okay, this is a bullshit quarterback that overthrew it. So that's, I don't know. Do you guys get mad about that? What kind, do you guys get mad about the random chance or more the bullshit coding?
The bullshit coding, the fullback. That pisses me off more than anything. A pulling guard that'll completely run away from the guy that's right in front of his face.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That does not need to happen.
Yeah, that's
I stream this game a lot, and I always at least cuss out Delaney Walker or Incognito like at least like once a game. I'm like, you set me up for failure. Like, you had one job, just get in his way.
Is it awareness based? Like, is Delaney Walker not doing that because you're playing him out of position?
It's just random. Sometimes he blocks the guy on Wildcat, and I get a touchdown. Sometimes he runs right by him, and I get big hit, and I fumble the ball. It doesn't matter what happens.
Sometimes it feels like there's no difference of having a Christian Okoye or a Jalston Fowler. Like, it doesn't matter sometimes.
No, there's no difference at all. I mean that's what Lead the Way was supposed to be, but like we haven't got that yet because I guess it doesn't work. I guess they couldn't.
Yeah, they probably haven't coded it correctly yet.
Yep, that's probably why it doesn't work right. You haven't seen nobody with it because you would think a fullback that would have came out like the Okoye. No one.
That's going to be overpowered if they could fix that and make it work.
It'd be worth it to pick it up. They blocked the guy that was right there. Like,
well, overpowered in the sense of it's going to be a really, really good thing, and it better be going for a lot of coins if Lead the Way comes out.
What was Lead the Way again?
Lead the Way. It didn't give a description. It just added the new ability. But my guess is what Lead the Way is supposed to be is, I guess, follow that guy. that's the only thing I can get about it. The description is, I guess that guy is going to be like a great pulling guard or a fullback to where he's going to be blocking better for you.
Yeah, that seems weird. I don't know. I don't buy that, Kem. You know,
we
like
got it yet, so we can't even test the thing about it. It's funny.
That's true. It could be something different, but like that should just be in the game. Like,
well, what else could it be? Lead the Way.
I mean,
like that almost has to be blocking.
Yeah,
it
does. But I'm just saying
as well.
They shouldn't. Yeah, they shouldn't put a chem in there to make your guy block. Like that should just be the game.
Dude, a lot of the chems in this game are in here just based on how broken the game was. Secure Protector in the game because you couldn't stop instant block shed. So they had to put an ability on it to make sure you didn't get instant block shed.
Yeah, but
Secure Tackler in the game because tackling doesn't matter. Like, Keegley has like 95 tackling, but he'll still miss a tackle because Madden. So they had to add Secure Tackler to help that out.
Can I explain both those? Like, even with 95 tackling, if you have like a bad arm tackle, you're gonna miss like Adrian Peterson. He's gonna run through that if you're Luke Kuechly or not. So like Secure Protector, and then Secure Tackler for that reason. Secure Protector, like instant block sheds just sometimes happen, you know, in real life and in Madden.
Yep.
So I can see why that chem is put in the game. That's not anything I think wrong with that.
Well, so I don't think anything's wrong with it either, but just because the game mechanics are kind of broke, you have a guy 95 pass block going against a low tier guy, and it was just to the point where I think last year when they introduced it, it was like ratings didn't matter at all because literally you will get instant on play actions, your guy will get block shit instantly.
Oh yeah, play actions.
So
terrible.
they had to add that because your right tackle and left tackle literally couldn't do their job. Secure Tackler. Even if you got a good tackle, I remember with Madden 16, I don't know which Keekley version it was, where I would be running at somebody, trying to tackle him, and dude to make no juke move, and just based off elusiveness and I guess evasiveness, the guy just couldn't make the tackle. I'm like, what's the point of having 9-9 tackling if you can't make a damn tackle against a regular halfback? And so they had to add that. Tips drill. They had to add that too because you couldn't catch tip picks. So a lot of stuff in this game is in here based off of the game not working properly.
That's a fair point on those tips. That was very frustrating. They fixed it in 18. Picks are much better picked this year. But
yeah, they are.
All right, I think that is it for the podcast. Ryan, thank you for stopping by and spending some time with us and giving us your knowledge.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.
Yeah, and then everybody check out his links in the description. Same with Texas. He's got his stuff, his YouTube. They got their Twitters there. Yeah, Texas, I guess I will see you around or talk to you later. Good having you.
Wait, are we doing it next week for Christmas? How are we doing this?
Oh, we'll record the day after Christmas.
Gotcha. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, which we're recording this week also.
Coolio. Happy
We're
Hanukkah.
back to Tuesdays. Sound good, Texas? Back to Tuesday recordings?
Back to Tuesday. Tuesday dates for Tuesdays. What? Tuesdays at Ruby's. Ruby Tuesdays.
I love it. All right, and with that, I guess everybody, I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Fox. Bye-bye.
See ya.